JDW, First Annual Gauntlet Night of 2022 event by Colton Dennis. Hello everyone and welcome to the First Annual Gauntlet pay-per-view for Blood Rumble, said announcer number 2. And we hope that you're doing great, because we are as well. And also excited for tonight's matches, said announcer number 1. That's right. Tonight we have 3 gauntlet matches for you. The main event is gonna be great, said announcer number 2. I hope it will be. But instead of talking over about the gauntlet matches, let's start them. What do you say? Asked announcer number 1. I'm good with that, said announcer number 2. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for one fall. Is the first round of the Ladies' Championship Gauntlet match. The only way to win is by throwing your opponent over the top rope. Introducing the challengers first, Gemini. And her opponent, Luna, said announcer number 3. Bell dings. Luna runs at Gemini, then dropkicks her. Gemini goes into the corner. Man, what a dropkick by Luna, said announcer number 1. Gemini didn't even see that coming, said announcer number 2. I'm wondering if it was because Gemini gave her a face cutter in the Battle Royale. Asked announcer number 1. Probably, said announcer number 2. Luna continuously kicking Gemini. Gemini continuously groaning. Luna picks Gemini up, lifts her up, then slams her onto the mat. Gemini groans. Luna runs, bounces off of the ropes, then goes for a body splash onto Gemini. Gemini rolls out of the way. Luna lands face first onto the mat, then groans. Oh, that had to hurt Luna, said announcer number 1. Luna is slowly standing up. Gemini quickly stands up, bounces off of the ropes, then does a jumping cutter from Luna's left side. Luna lands onto the mat, then groans. A jumping cutter connects, said announcer number 2. Gemini stands up, picks Luna up, then throws her over the top rope. Luna lands onto the floor. Luna's eliminated, said announcer number 1. Now here comes Willow, said announcer number 2. Music is playing. Willow runs down the ramp, then slides into the ring. Bell dings. This match is the last round of the Ladies' Championship Gauntlet match, and is a ladder match. Introducing the challengers, Gemini and Willow, said announcer number 3. Bell dings. Willow runs at Gemini, then goes to clothesline her. Gemini ducks. Willow turns around. Gemini does a jumping cutter onto Willow. Willow lands onto the mat, then groans. Right out of the box. Gemini could strike at any angle, said announcer number 1. Gemini rolls outside of the ring, then grabs a ladder. Gemini is grabbing a ladder, said announcer number 2. Well, the faster you climb it, the faster you win, said announcer number 1. Gemini puts the ladder into the ledge of the ring. Willow stands up, bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, then dropkicks the ladder. The ladder goes into Gemini's face. Gemini falls onto the floor, then groans. Willow kicks the ladder off the ledge of the ring. The ladder lands onto Gemini. Gemini groans. Again. Well, like you said, and quote, the faster you climb up the ladder, the faster you win, and quote, said announcer number 2. Willow rolls outside of the ring, picks up a small ladder. That won't help you, Willow, said announcer number 1. I don't think she wants to climb it, said announcer number 2. Gemini is slowly standing up, then turns around. Willow runs at Gemini. The ladder hits Gemini's face. Gemini falls onto the floor, then groans. Man, that could knock out some teeth, said announcer number 1. Willow raises the ladder, then drops it onto Gemini. Gemini groans. Oh, another ladder crashing down onto Gemini. Willow grabs another ladder, then slides it into the ring. Here we go. Willow's gonna climb the ladder and retain her title, said announcer number 2. Willow sets up the ladder, then starts climbing up it. Gemini quickly stands up, then slides into the ring. Look how fast Gemini got up, said announcer number 1. She knows what's on the line here, said announcer number 2. Gemini climbs up the other side of the ladder. Both Gemini and Willow get to the top of the ladder, then start punching each other. Willow punches Gemini, then reaches for the title. Gemini punches Willow, then reaches for title. You need to do more than just punching each other just to get to the title, said announcer number 1. Willow punches Gemini's right side. Gemini groans. Willow bounces Gemini's head off of the top of the ladder. Gemini is groaning. Willow pushes Gemini off of the ladder. Gemini lands onto her feet, grabs the ladder, then pushes it. Willow is shaking her head, then gets hung up onto the top rope. Man, Willow could have hurt her throat, said announcer number 2. Or her neck, said announcer number 1. Gemini stands up, grabs the leaning ladder, then lifts it back up. Now it's Gemini's turn to climb the ladder first, said announcer number 2. Gemini starts climbing up the ladder. Willow stands up, then hits Gemini's back. Gemini groans. Willow sets Gemini up for a powerbomb. Willow, be careful, said announcer number 1. Willow lifts Gemini off of the ladder. Gemini is shaking her head. Willow powerbombs Gemini onto the mat. Gemini groans, then rolls away. Willow is leaning against the ropes, then looks up at the title. Go get your title, Willow, said announcer number 2. Willow starts climbing up the ladder. Willow's gonna retain her title, said announcer number 1. Willow gets to the top of the ladder. Gemini stands up, then pushes the ladder. Willow lands her on her feet onto the mat, then turns around. Gemini clotheslines Willow. Willow groans, then stands up. Gemini kicks Willow's stomach. Willow groans. Gemini runs, bounces off of the ropes, then goes for a jumping cutter from Willow's left side. Willow pushes Gemini. Gemini goes into the ladder, groans, then turns around. Willow lifts Gemini, then slams her onto the mat. Gemini groans. These two ladies are really taking their other to the limit, said announcer number 2. Well, it is for the ladies' championship, said announcer number 1. Willow is standing in the corner, then waves at Gemini. I think Willow's going for her finisher, said announcer number 2. Gemini kneels onto the mat. Willow spins around, then goes for a jumping kick to the left side of Gemini's head. Gemini ducks. Willow lands face first onto the mat. Groans, then stands up. Gemini quickly stands up, turns Willow around, then does a jumping cutter onto her. The jumping cutter connects, said announcer number 1. Now Gemini just has to set up the ladder. Climb it, then pull down the title, said announcer number 2. Gemini stands up, grabs the ladder, sets it up, then starts climbing up it. Gemini is gonna be the new champion, said announcer number 1. Willow stands up, then starts climbing up the other side of the ladder. Willow's climbing up the ladder. 2, said announcer number 2. Gemini gets to the top of the ladder, then reaches for the title. Willow punches Gemini's stomach. Gemini groans. Willow gets to the top of the ladder, then reaches for their title. Gemini punches Willow. Willow groans, then punches Gemini. Gemini is swaying on the top of the ladder, then punches Willow. Willow is swaying on the top of the ladder. Gemini reaches for the title. Willow pulls herself back up, then locks in the mandible claw onto Gemini. Gemini is groaning. The mandible claw. The mandible claw is locked in, said announcer number 1. If Gemini passes out, all Willow will have to do is just grab the title, said announcer number 1. Gemini is struggling. Willow tightens the submission. Gemini punches Willow. Willow groans, then tightens the submission. Again, Gemini grabs Willow's head, then turns on the ladder. What is Gemini thinking of here? Asked announcer number 2. Gemini does a cutter off the top of the ladder. Both Gemini and Willow land onto the mat, then groan. A cutter from the top of the ladder. Gemini rolls outside of the ring, then falls onto the floor. Gemini is definitely out of it. Just like Willow, said announcer number 1. Willow slowly starts moving. How's Willow moving after that? Asked announcer number 2. The heart of a champion, said announcer number 1. Willow continues moving. Gemini stands up outside of the ring, grabs Willow's leg, then pulls her outside of the ring. Willow stands up outside the ring. Gemini does a jumping cutter onto Willow onto the floor. Willow groans, then lays motionless on the floor. Willow is out of it, said announcer number 2. Gemini groans, stands up, then slides into the ring. Gemini just needs to climb up the ladder. Because Willow hasn't moved yet, said announcer number 1. Gemini sets up the ladder, then starts climbing up it. Grab it, Gemini. Grab the title and achieve your dream, said announcer number 2. Gemini gets to the top of the ladder, looks down at Willow, reaches up, grabs the title, then unhooks it. Bell dings. Here's your winner and the new ladies' champion, Gemini, said announcer number 3. Gemini has done it. She's the new ladies' champion, said announcer number 1. I can't believe what these two women put their bodies through just to get that title, said announcer number 2. It's all about the titles in JDW. Congratulations to Gemini, said announcer number 1. Gemini raises the title. What a match that was, said announcer number 2. Bell dings. This match is scheduled for one fall. Is the first round of the U.S. Continental Championship Gauntlet match, and is inside a steel cage. Introducing the challenger's first, the Hyena, and his opponent, he is the U.S. Continental Champion, Drake, said announcer number 3. Bell dings. Drake starts climbing up the ropes. The Hyena hits Drake's back. Remember, there is only one way to win a cage match. Escaping it, said announcer number 1. Yeah, either climb over the cage wall or walk out the door, said announcer number 2. And Drake knows about the cage because he had a match with bodyguard inside it, said announcer number 1. And somehow survived, said announcer number 2. The Hyena pulls Drake down from the ropes. Drake lands onto the mat, then groans. Man, that was a fall, said announcer number 1. The Hyena does an elbow drop onto Drake's neck. Drake groans. The Hyena stands up, then does an elbow drop onto Drake's neck again. Drake groans. The Hyena is kicking Drake. Drake is groaning. The Hyena picks Drake up, then throws him into the cage wall. Drake groans, then falls onto the mat. Man, if that doesn't cut you instantly, you must be very lucky, said announcer number 2. The Hyena starts climbing up the ropes, then up the cage wall. Hyena wants to end this now, said announcer number 1. Drake is groaning, stands up, then hits the Hyena's back. The Hyena groans. Drake grabs the Hyena's tights, then pulls him off of the top rope. The Hyena lands onto the mat, then groans. Man, that always looks nasty, said announcer number 2. That's why I'm no longer a wrestler, said announcer number 1. Drake is kicking the hyena. The hyena is groaning. Drake picks the hyena up, bounces him off of the ropes, then bends over. The hyena kicks Drake's chest. Drake groans, then stands up. The hyena runs at Drake. Drake sidesteps the hyena, then throws him into the cage wall. The hyena falls onto the mat, then groans. Man, Drake just set hyena into the cage wall, said announcer number 2. And it doesn't help hyena that Drake helped him sail into it either, said announcer number 1. The hyena lowers his hands from his head, then appears all bloodied. Man, hyena definitely went into the cage wall, said announcer number 2. Drake is kicking the hyena. The hyena is groaning. Drake picks the hyena up, lifts, then slams him onto the mat. The hyena groans. Drake walks towards the ropes, then starts climbing up them. Drake's trying to get out of there, said announcer number 1. The hyena slowly stands up, then hits Drake's back. Drake groans. The hyena sets Drake up for an electric chair. Drake is shaking his head. The hyena does an electric chair onto Drake. Drake groans. Man, what an electric chair by hyena, said announcer number 2. How hyena did that with blood covering his eyes? I have no idea, said announcer number 1. The hyena is slowly standing, then walks towards the cage door. Open it, said the hyena. The cage door opens. The hyena starts to go through the middle rope. Drake grabs the hyena's left leg. The hyena struggles, gets back into the ring, then starts kicking Drake. Drake is groaning. The cage door shuts. The hyena was about to get to the next round, but Drake had enough strength to stop him, said announcer number 2. The hyena continues kicking Drake. Drake continues groaning. The hyena picks Drake up, then points at the cage wall. The crowd is cheering. The hyena runs, then goes to throw Drake into the cage wall. Drake knees the hyena's right side. The hyena groans. Drake grabs the hyena's head, then throws him into the cage wall. The hyena groans, then falls onto the mat. Hyena went into the cage again, said announcer number 1. That could open that wound more, said announcer number 2. Drake is smiling, then starts climbing up the ropes. Now Drake's making a break for it, said announcer number 1. Drake stands onto the top rope, starts climbing up the cage wall, gets to the top, then lifts his left leg over. The hyena grabs Drake's right leg. Drake is struggling. The hyena pulls Drake back into the cage. Drake tries kicking the hyena. The hyena punches Drake's right side. Drake groans. Both Drake and the hyena are standing on the top rope. They need to be careful, said announcer number 1. Both Drake and the hyena are punching each other. Drake elbows the hyena. The hyena groans. Drake grabs the hyena's head, then goes to bounce it off the cage wall. The hyena grabs the cage wall. Drake is struggling. The hyena punches Drake's right side. Drake groans. The hyena bounces Drake's head off the cage wall. Drake groans, then falls onto the mat. Hyena just bounced Drake's head off the cage wall, said announcer number 2. I bet that felt great, said announcer number 1. The hyena starts climbing up the cage wall. Hyena is gonna escape the cage, said announcer number 2. Drake is groaning, then looks up at the hyena. Blood appears on Drake's head. Oh God, Drake's busted open now, said announcer number 2. Drake quickly climbs up the ropes, then grabs the hyena's left leg. The hyena is struggling. Drake pulls the hyena down the cage wall, then hits his back. The hyena is groaning. Drake sets the hyena up for a Powerbomb, walks a few feet then plants him onto the mat. The hyena groans. Man, what a powerbomb. By Drake, said announcer number 1. Both Drake and the hyena slowly stand up. The hyena goes to punch Drake. Drake blocks then punches the hyena. The hyena staggers then goes to punch Drake again. Drake blocks then punches the hyena again. The hyena staggers then goes to punch Drake a third time. Drake ducks. The hyena turns around. Drake kicks the hyena's stomach, runs, bounces off of the ropes then does a swinging neckbreaker onto him. The hyena groans. What a swinging neckbreaker, said announcer number 2. Drake stands up, starts to climb up the ropes then looks at the hyena. The hyena is slowly moving. Drake climbs down the ropes then stomps his right foot. What's Drake thinking? Asked announcer number 1. The hyena stands up then turns around. Drake runs, jumps onto the middle rope. Then does a springboard roundhouse kick onto the hyena. The hyena falls onto the mat then groans. What a springboard roundhouse kick, said announcer number 2. Drake stands up then starts climbing their ropes. Drake's making an escape for it, said announcer number 1. The hyena is slowly moving, sees Drake climbing up the ropes, quickly stands up then hits his back. Drake groans. The hyena sets Drake up for an electric chair. Another electric chair coming up, said announcer number 2. Drake is squirming. Lands onto his feet behind the hyena then hits his back. The hyena groans. Drake bends the hyena backwards, sets him up then does cutter onto him. The hyena groans. The move that made Drake champion, said announcer number 1. Drake stands up then walks towards the cage door. Open it, said Drake. The cage door opens. Drake goes through the middle rope, walks down the steel stairs then steps onto the floor. Bell dings. Here's your winner, Drake, said announcer number 3. Drake wins the first round. Now, on to the next, said announcer number 2. Havoc runs down the ramp then hits Drake from behind. Drake groans. Come on, the match hasn't even started, said announcer number 1. Havoc picks Drake up then throws him into the barricade. Drake groans. Drake didn't even have time to prepare, said announcer number 2. Havoc walks away, picks up the ring skirt then pulls out a ladder. No, not a ladder, said announcer number 1. Havoc picks up the ladder. Drake slowly stands up. Havoc runs at Drake. The ladder goes into Drake's face. Drake falls onto the floor, then groans. Man, he didn't even give him time. Like you said he didn't, said announcer number 1. Havoc drops the ladder. The referees are kneeling next to Drake. Havoc steps towards Drake. No more, no more. Just stop where you are, said referee number 2. Havoc pushes referee number 2, picks Drake up then sets him up. No, not that on the floor, said announcer number 1. Havoc does an underhook DDT onto the floor. Drake goes limp. James Dennis runs down the ramp. Get out of here. Now. Security. Take this out of my building, said James. What? What about the match? Asked Havoc. It's over. Get out of here. Go. Get, said James. The paramedics are kneeling next to Drake. Drake, can you hear me? Asked paramedic number 2. Drake is groaning. Man, what a piece of garbage that guy is, said announcer number 1. He shouldn't have been last, said announcer number 2. Drake is being set onto a stretcher. This is so awful. Drake is being carted away. Thanks to Havoc's doing, said announcer number 1. Well, at least the man won't have any help now, said announcer number 2. That's true, said announcer number 1. The paramedics are pushing the stretcher up the ramp then down the side. I hope Drake is all right, said announcer number 2. Well folks, it's hard to turn away from that, but we've made it to the main event, said announcer number 1. Beldings. This match is scheduled for one fall and is the first round of the Galaxy Championship Gauntlet match. Introducing the challengers. First, the pursuer and his opponent. He is the Galaxy Champion, the man, said announcer number 2. This couldn't be better. The man starts off in the first round, said announcer number 1. Whoa, whoa, whoa. James appears on the stage. Before this match starts, I just want to wish everyone good luck. But I've changed my mind for this match. There's not gonna be any stipulations, but there is only one way to win. That is by your finisher. So, all these matches will be finishers only. Now ring that bell, said James. Beldings. The man runs then dropkicks the pursuer. The pursuer goes into the corner, then falls onto the mat. The man goes through the middle ropes then climbs up the turnbuckle. Already, the man's gonna move on, said announcer number 2. The man gets to the top turnbuckle, jumps off of it then goes for a shooting star press onto the pursuer. The pursuer moves. The man lands face first onto the mat then groans. Pursuer moved, said announcer number 1. The pursuer stands up. The man continues groaning, stands up then turns around. The pursuer kicks the man's stomach then sets him up for a DDT. Here it comes. If pursuer nails this, he moves to the next round, said announcer number 2. The man twists the pursuer's right arm then clotheslines him. The pursuer groans. The man walks towards the ropes then runs at the pursuer. The pursuer does a tilt-a-whirl slam onto the man. The man groans. What a tilt-a-whirl slam, said announcer number 1. The pursuer stands up, picks the man up, then sets him up for a DDT. Havoc jumps over the barricade then climbs onto the ledge of the ring. Wait. Havoc was supposed to be thrown out, said announcer number 1. Security is running down the ramp. Havoc jumps off of the ledge of the ring then goes over the barricade. Security is chasing Havoc. The pursuer is watching, turns around then goes to punch the man. The man ducks, sets the pursuer up for a back suplex, lifts him then faceplants him into the mat. The pursuer groans. The man stands up, goes through the middle rope then climbs up the turnbuckle. No, not like this. Miss, said announcer number 2. The man gets to the top turnbuckle, looks down at the pursuer, jumps off of it then does a shooting star press onto him. The pursuer has been eliminated, said announcer number 3. Music is playing. The governor is running down the ramp, slides into the ring, stands up then runs at the man. The man leapfrogs over the governor. The governor goes into the second turnbuckle, groans, stands up then walks backwards. The man sets the governor up for a back suplex, lifts him then faceplants him onto the mat. The governor groans. The man goes through the middle rope, climbs up the turnbuckle, gets to the top of it, looks down at the governor, jumps off then does a shooting star press onto him. The governor groans. The governor has been eliminated, said announcer number 3. That quickly, said announcer number 1. Music is playing. Gargoyle is walking down the ramp. Man, good luck with Gargoyle, said announcer number 2. Gargoyle walks up the steel stairs then goes through the middle rope. The man starts kicking the sides of Gargoyle's legs. Gargoyle pushes the man. The man falls onto the mat, stands up then runs at Gargoyle. Gargoyle headbutts the man's chest. The man falls onto the mat, then groans. The man has met his match, said announcer number 2. The man stands up, then turns around. Gargoyle lifts the man, then slams him onto the mat. The man groans. Gargoyle runs, bounces off of the ropes, then goes for a body splash onto the man. The man moves. Gargoyle lands face first onto the mat, then groans. The man stands up, runs, bounces off ropes, then dropkicks Gargoyle's left side. Gargoyle groans. The man is fighting back, said announcer number 1. Come on, Gargoyle. You got this, said announcer number 2. Get up, said the man. Gargoyle stands up, then turns around. The man goes to kick Gargoyle. Gargoyle catches the man's right leg, then shakes his head. The man jumps up, then does an enziguri onto Gargoyle. Gargoyle groans, then falls onto his knees. Man got Gargoyle onto his knees, said announce number 1. The man stands up, looks at Gargoyle, then does a step-up enziguri onto him. Gargoyle falls onto the mat. Gargoyle's down, said announcer number 2. The man goes through the middle rope, then climbs up the turn. Buckle. Gargoyle slowly stands up. Gargoyle's standing up. The man gets to the top turnbuckle, then looks at Gargoyle. Gargoyle turns around. The man jumps off the top turnbuckle, then goes for a crossbody onto Gargoyle. Gargoyle head butts the man's chest. The man lands onto the mat, then groans. What a headbutt by Gargoyle, said announcer number 1. Gargoyle runs, bounces off of the ropes, then does a body splash onto the man. The man groans. The man has been eliminated, said announcer number 3. The man's eliminated, said announcer number 1. We're gonna have ourselves a new Galaxy champion, said announcer number 2. Music is playing. Wolf is running down the ramp, slides into the ring, then stands up. Gargoyle goes to clothesline Wolf. Wolf ducks. Gargoyle turns around. Wolf kicks the left side of Gargoyle's head. Gargoyle groans, then staggers backwards. Wolf kicks the left side of Gargoyle's head again. Gargoyle staggers, then falls through the middle ropes. Gargoyle has been eliminated, said announcer number 3. That quick of a kick? Just eliminated Gargoyle, said announce number 1. Music is playing. The Guns runs down the ramp, slides into the ring, then stands up. Wolf goes to kick the left side of the Guns' head. The Guns ducks. Wolf spins around. The Guns kicks Wolf's stomach. Wolf groans. The Guns sets Wolf up for a powerbomb, lifts him, runs, then throws him into the corner. Wolf groans. Man, what a powerbomb into the corner, said announcer number 2. Wolf walks out of the corner. The Guns kicks Wolf's left knee. Wolf falls onto his knees. The Guns runs, bounces off of the ropes, jumps up, then goes for a curb stomp. Wolf moves. The Guns turns around. Wolf does a super kick onto the Guns. The Guns falls onto the mat. What a super kick by Wolf, said announce number 1. A signature move of Wolf's. But not his finisher though, said announcer number 2. Wolf stands up, then waves at the Guns. The Guns slowly stands up, then turns around. Wolf goes to kick the right side of the Guns' head. The Guns ducks, wraps his arms around Wolf, then does back suplex onto him. Wolf groans. What a back suplex by the Guns, said announce number 1. Both the Guns and Wolf stand up. The Guns bounces Wolf off of the ropes. Wolf reverses it. The Guns bounces off of the ropes on the opposite side of the ring, then drop kicks Wolf's right leg. Wolf flips, lands onto the mat, groans. then holds his right leg. What a dropkick to Wolf's leg, said announcer number 2. The Guns stands up, sees Wolf slowly getting to his knees, runs, bounces off of the ropes, jumps up, then goes for a curb stomp. Wolf moves. The Guns turns around. Wolf continuously clotheslines the Guns. The Guns continuously groaning, then standing up. Wolf lifts the Guns onto his left shoulder. The Guns is squirming, lands onto his feet behind Wolf, then chop blocks his right leg. Wolf groans, then falls onto the mat. Nice idea. Chop blocking the good leg, said announcer number 1. Wolf is kneeling on the mat. The Guns runs, bounces off of the ropes, jumps up, then does a curb stomp onto Wolf. Wolf groans. Bell dings. Here's your winner and the new Galaxy champion, the Guns, said announcer number 3. Referee number 3 hands the title. The Guns grabs the title, then holds it to his chest. Congratulations to the Guns. He deserves it, said announcer number 2. He definitely does. Especially after that match, said announcer number 1. Just hopefully he ain't a champion like the man was, said announcer number 2. Yeah, well, folks, we want to thank you for watching. Be safe out there and good night, said announcer number 1. Bye bye. Look, a new champion, said announcer number 2 waving. The Guns raises the title. The end.